Lee, your one and only host from Music Meltdown, idiosyncratic Music Meltdown here on YouTube. Welcome to the Thursday night, late night Trainwreck here on as Jesse continues to try to figure the screen out. Trying to get organized here. We're a little late. She needs to go wash her hands to not get chicken grease all over my tablet. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We hope you're all safe and warm and you're in good health. We are in the midst of a winter tundra freeze here. Oh, excuse me, everybody. Get a frightening look at my face. Got the Real Madrid football hat on as, yes, indeed, Real Madrid put the boots to Man City in the Champions League on Wednesday, thanks to Kylian Mbappe's not one, not two, but 3 goals, a hat trick for the great Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid. Big shout out to Raul Asensio as he played a huge game. That was great. How's it going, John? Yeah, it's your turn, but let's talk about what we want to talk about first, John, and then we'll get to your choice on who you want to talk about for next week. So let's talk. Tonight, we know that we're going to talk about the great AC/DC. There's a lot to unpack.
Who recommended it?
From the great, the one and only, the Super Bowl champion, Frank, our man from East Falls, Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us tonight, John. We're glad you're here. We hope everybody is safe and warm. I'm here with the great, the one and only, the 60-year-old, hot, mediocre-looking, superhuman-powered editor, producer, cinematographer, writer, head check writer, the one and only,
Nope.
Jesse Jones. When you guys going to get your bus?
4 Lakes.
Yeah, we're working on it, John. We're working on it. We are working on it.
We'll start making money.
Yeah, once we start making money. Hey, Billy Crozier, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for being here, Mr. M. Our man from the Great White North, Mr. M, the one and only, the
Mr.
Doctor of Spins, the Mr. Music.
Yay!
Mr. Sigma God said my fish died. Sorry for your fish dying. Cyro, hello, bro. Hello, how are you, that boy Grove? I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're a little late getting started here on the Thursday night Trainwreck. Again, we are going to talk tonight about the one and only band from Australia, AC/DC. And boy, is there a lot to unpack.
How about we go over the questions first? The quizzes.
Hi, Brooklyn. Oh, your dog died. I'm sorry to hear that. That boy Grove said I got caught gooning in class and got kicked out. I love that college. Well, that sounds like my kind of college there, that boy Grove. Welcome, everybody. This is your host, Timothy, Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown, here from the great woods of Northwest Pennsylvania. Freezing cold. It's been a long week. John says I will not flirt. I promise. You flirt away, John. It's all good with me. You're going to have your hands full. Trust me. It ain't going to be no picnic. That's for sure. But bless you all for being here. Again, we hope you're all safe and warm. We hope everybody has shelter and food. Thank you, Mr. M. I know Mr. M is in the house, the Doctor of Rock, our resident historian extraordinaire. Again, we're talking about the great AC/DC tonight, a little, I don't know, Highway to Hell. Mojo Reaper says gooning means something different now than in your time. That kid is trolling. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. I don't know. I have no idea. John lives in Lexington, North Carolina. All righty. Welcome from North Carolina. Yeah, you're probably right. It was different in my time because I'm 77 years old. So Cyro says, Madam Hara Masala. All right, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, everybody. I really had a great time digging into AC/DC. It's always been one of my favorite bands. I was blessed to see the great, uh, to yes, you are family, John. I saw the great AC/DC on the first time on September 6th, 1979, on the Highway to Hell tour at the University of Nevada, Reno Old Gym. Capacity about 900. It was one of the loudest concerts I've ever been to, powered by the great Bon Scott. In honor of Mr. M, one of his own Canadian bands, Prism, opened up that show, PRISM. Mr. M, tell me if you remember that band. You ever heard of John says you ever heard of Marcy Playground? Yeah. I want sex and candy. It's about the only song I know. I know from Marcy Playground, but I think they were a one-hit wonder kind of thing. But yeah, it was one of the greatest shows of my life. I still rank that in the top 3 shows um, of all the hundreds and hundreds of concerts I've seen. Bon Scott, you got to remember, here's a guy that had tattoos. He wore a whalebone in his nose and in his ears. He was so far ahead of the game as far as rock and roll and all the accoutrements. Oh yeah, Mr. M says, "Oh yeah, I have a few Prism albums and they were really good, by the way, Mr. M. I remember them distinctly, and I was a fan of them. It was the record with the triangle, like the light triangle on the front. I really can't tell you the name of that record. I'd have to look it up, but I do remember Prism, and I know they were a Canadian band, and I loved it, man. It was great. Yes, John, you get the pick for next week. There's no doubt about it. But remember, you gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Yep, we're off to the train wreck. 8 minutes into the train wreck as the great Jesse Jones sits next door devouring a piece of fried chicken. So that's why it's awful quiet to my left. She's looking at all the crumbs she's spilling in my beautiful apartment. Let's give it up for the great musical mascot Boots, as I'm pointing to right there, and your superhero right there. Where's my finger? I can't get it in the picture. There it is, the one and only Timothy Lee, your future YouTube celebrity. Oh, yeah, you can tell all your friends about us, John, for sure. John Hip says, can I tell my friends about y'all? For sure. The more you spread the word, the sooner we'll get that bus and we'll be going on tour. It is your Thursday night, late night train wreck. We're going late night train wrecking tonight, folks. Boom. With a little, I got a little bad boy boogie. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yes, sir. The great AC/DC. So let's start out with when the band was formed. I hope Frankie's here. No. What?
Can we talk about the...
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about, Jesse put up some poll posts earlier.
I thank everybody for...
Mr. M says, I'll tell my friends and even my enemies. That's what we need you for, Mr. M. You are the man. Boom.
Thank you, Mr.
Boom. You know what they say, keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer. So we're going to go to the poll. Just put up a couple polls this afternoon. Yes, sir, John. Keep it loud. Because it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. There you go. That's AC/DC song. What? I'm getting a look from the producer going like, what am I doing? I'm singing AC/DC, folks. Now that I'm the mad singer, so everybody seemed to love to. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. And I'm not going to even wear I might put on the cowboy hat, the Indiana Jones hat. But like I said, I got my sweaty Real Madrid hat on because what a game in the championship. John says y'all are fun. Well, thank you. Y'all are fun being with us. We are thankful every Thursday night. So we do have some big note. Oh, well, first of all, so Jesse put up a couple polls in the post section of the channel, and the first question was, what's your favorite AC/DC song? 67% of you said Back in Black. Cause I'm back in black. I hit the sack. It feels so good to be back at you. Cut loose from the noose. There you go. And number 33% of y'all said touch too much. It's a touch too much.
I want to thank everybody.
You got it, John.
Playing along with us.
And the second one was, where was AC/DC from? And yet again, for the same exact number, 67% of you said Australia, which is correct answer. And 33%, who I think I know who said this, said they were from England. Yes, John, you did say that. So you got it, brother.
We want everybody to know who got it right. Australia, to put a thumbs up in the comments.
Sydney, Australia, to be exact.
Put a thumbs up in the comments if you got it right.
Okay, put a thumbs up in the comments if you got it right. They were formed in 1973 in the great, the beautiful, the wonderful, and if you ever get a chance, I highly recommend you go. Sydney, Australia. Beautiful place. Been there a couple times and really, really love to get yourself some KB Tooth Lager and some Foster's Lager. Drink yourself some beers. Excuse me. And have a great time.
Bless you.
Thank you. So before I say that, like I said, I told you that I've had some job situations going on. So that is all come to a conclusion, and I've accepted a new job, which I will be starting here soon. And so I'm still not exactly sure what my work schedule is going to be. So we will definitely be doing another Thursday night live for John's pick next Thursday. Then continue to watch in our post. We're going to probably have to figure out what we're going to do because I'm pretty sure my hours are going to change. So I wanted to let you guys all know up front that, we're going to have to kind of change it around. So we will let you know as soon as John says, I have a friend named Dennis. Cool. I hope he ain't Dennis the Menace. But cool. Good for you.
That's a good name.
That's a great name. Dennis DeYoung from Styx. Mr. Roboto. There you go. So, Mr. M, you got anything you want to dish right off the jump off AC/DC? This is a lot to unpack, folks. I pretty much only went to for those about to rock. I'll be 100% honest. I mean, I know Fly on the Wall and some of those later records, Razor's Edge and a couple of them, they had some decent stuff. John asked, can I tell him about you? Certainly can, sir. Tell him you know some freaky 77-year-old dude who's still packing peanut butter and jelly to the coal mine every day. So, but yep, and his 60-year-old sidekick laughing off screen. Let's get a little camera turn while she's wiping her mouth. What?
4 likes.
Oh,
4 likes.
Sorry. I guess that was an inadvertent camera's turn because she said we need 4 likes before she'll hook it up. Wait, how come I can't? Oh, there we go. Wait, there we go. Boom, we're up to, mine says 4, that only says 3. So what's the deal here, YouTube? You're lagging.
Oh. No, just 3.
Well, wait, look, mine says 4.
Well, we'll see.
Anyhow,
Thanks to everybody who liked and.
We're powered as usual by a little Colombian Java to keep us rolling. I'm on cup 4 for the day. Jesse has some Fireside vanilla tea. Cold hands, warm heart. Or no, what is it? Is that what it says? It's backwards, Jess. I don't think they can read backwards writing. Well, not. What are you? You're showing the back of a white cup. Yeah, she's out of control, folks. All right, let's get it. Let's get a camera turn.
Nope.
Why?
4.
It says 4 right there.
Not there.
Wow. All righty. So AC/DC. Wow. I hope you're okay, Frank. We miss you, Frank. This is your night. We were celebrating the grit. Look at that. Getting a sneak peek of that veiled, Dawn dish soaked head of hers. Look at that. Wow, she's being a tease tonight.
Don't
folks.
reveal my beauty secrets.
A boom. Boom. Yep, it's a train wreck, all right. It's a train wreck. John says, come on, put her on live. There you go.
4.
I don't know, John. She's being camera shy today.
It's kind of late. I hope we didn't miss Frank.
Yeah, I know. I hope Frank didn't want to go to bed.
I had to work really late.
Yep,
I feel really bad. Frank, we miss you. If you're watching this later, Frank, we miss you. And thank you for the awesome topic suggestion for this week.
Yep, Jesse enjoyed delving into the very she's a little virginal, I guess, even at 60 years old. So she was a little offended by some of the song names and the sexual innuendos and the ultimate of what do they call it? Misogamy or something, or when you talk bad about women or whatever, because they AC/DC got, they always were criticized for the lyrics because they were always veiled, songs. Yeah, what does that mean? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm not all politically correct and all into that woke society, so I don't know all those terms. But when you talk about
too old,
when you talk about some of the song names, I don't know, giving the dog a bone, shot down in flames, you shook me all night long. There you go. All right, John. Well, bye-bye. I hope you have a nice evening. Have a great evening. Be safe. Stay warm. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. I guess hopefully you'll come back and give us a pick. If not, we'll go with a wild side pick. Here, do you want this? So, all right, let's get into this thing. Frank, we hope you're okay. We miss you. We love this. Okay, please come eat barbecue with me. Yep, I love to eat some North Carolina BBQ, but we're still waiting on that first YouTube check so we can buy the tour van and head out in the great north, heading down south. I'm going down south. All right, so AC/DC from the great Sydney, Australia, formed in 1973 with obviously Angus and Malcolm Young brothers. Dave Evans was the singer at the point. They had several. There was many, too many to list guys in the band through 73 to approximately 75. And that's when the great Bon Scott, Bon Scott joined in 9 of 74. Um, Interesting. Let's talk about the name AC/DC. You might ask, how did they come up with the name AC/DC? Well, actually, Angus and Malcolm Young's sister saw a symbol on her sewing machine that said AC/DC, and she mentioned it to the boys, and they thought, bang, what a great name of a band. So there you go. Now, their first live gig was on 12/31/73 at the Great Checks in Sydney, Australia. Now, another interesting fact about the band is the early records were produced by George Young, which is Malcolm and Angus's older brother, who, by the way, taught them to play guitar. He was in a band called the Easy Beats that was a little bit popular in the time. And Harry Vonda. Obviously, they went by Young and Vonda. They were big record producers in Australia at the time. Would you just quit poking your head in there? There you go. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Just, you're part of the show. So they produced a lot of those first early records. George Young and Harry Vonda. So if you're familiar with AC/DC or you're a fan of them, I'm sure you've heard of Wanda and Young or Young and Wanda. Vonda. And that was the guys. And they were definitely instrumental in, pushing them, propelling them forward. Obviously, you may understand that Highway to Hell was the first record that they did with the great Robert Mutt Lang. So from Def Leppard fame and a lot of other bands, and he definitely catapulted them into the stratosphere. But George Young and Harry Vonda were the first that were big into it. Producers, I'm sorry. Their first big two. What are you doing? Evidently, that's all you're getting tonight, folks. The hot 60-year-old's giving you like the top of her wannabe Nirvana hat or Chris Cornell hat. So that's all you get, folks, I guess. That's all she's giving up tonight. She's a little wore out. She had a rough day at work today, so. And this weather hasn't been any. It's been negative, below zero nights, and it's been cold. Cold, blustery, snowy, and actually not a whole lot of fun, to be honest with you. Especially when you haven't grown up and all you have is short pants.
Depends on who you're asking.
I didn't know that there's this thing called long pants, so
some people
I'm still wearing shorts.
Some people like it cold.
Okay, well, evidently, according to the 60-year-old, some people like it cold, so I'm not one of them, seeing as all the years I lived on the West Coast, I would prefer it warm.
Some people love winter.
Their first big voyeur into live music is they supported Lou Reed in August of 74 in direct support. And that's when they really started to, the wheels started turning. Again, Bon Scott joined the band in September of 74 when Dave Evans departed. He was coming from a band called the Valentines and Fraternity, and certainly things were on a trajectory the minute the great Bon Scott. I still to this day say he's one of the greatest frontmans of any rock and roll band. This guy was a madman. He was a hard partier, and he lived the life. That's why, all those songs, Live Wire and Problem Child and Bad Boy Boogie and It's a Long Way to the Top to Your Rock and Roll, and all And he was obviously the main lyricist of the band, and most of those songs up until Back in Black, and according to legend and folklore, some of the Back in Black was already done by Bon, and it's been disputed. I can't say that with verification. Oh, somebody took one of the lights away. I can only guess who. But
wait.
he obviously was a main songwriter, the great Bon Scott. They signed with Atlantic Records in '76, and that's when the wheels started turning. So Cliff Williams replaced Mark Evans on the bass in '77, and that's when we get the classic lineup, which was Phil Rudd on the drums, Cliff Williams on the bass, Angus on lead guitar, Malcolm Young, one of the greatest rhythm guitar players ever, with that crazy beat up ramshackle guitar he played, and the great Bon Scott. And that's when things really started churning. Their first American show, ironically, was not until July 27th, 1977, in Austin, Texas, in support of a band called Moxie, which I believe was again another Canadian band. Mr. M, let's get a vote in from our man from the north, our guru on all things rock and music, Mr. M. I believe Moxie, Moxy, I believe they were a Canadian band, correct? May stand corrected, but I believe that is a Canadian band. Their first American radio play, Moxy, I'm pretty sure it's a Canadian band. Their first radio play came in 1975 with the great Bill Bartlett from WPDQ, WAIV in the great Jacksonville, Florida. And that's when they first kind of like Rush with WMMS in Cleveland, the Buzzard, playing Working Man. That was their first foray into radio in the United States of America.
Said Moxie formed in Toronto, Ontario in 1973.
Yep, Mr. M. They were a Toronto, Ontario, Canada band in 1973, the great Moxie. So that some of the early background. They really cut their teeth in 76, 75, 76, 77. Well, I'm sorry, 77 and 78, opening for the likes of Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, Kiss, Styx, the great UFO, the great Blue Oyster Cult. They co-headline with Cheap Trick. And again, I don't know if people really realize this, but they still, even after the release of Highway to Hell, had not really broken America in what happened later after the passing of Bon Scott. Obviously, Back in Black, they just exploded, and that's really when they went in a stratosphere as far as, being part of the music scene. But tragically, they still were not huge in America. They were huge in Europe and in London and England, but it's, what are you doing, the one eye thing? Come on, get on the camera, man. Get on the camera. There you go. There she is. Look at that 60-year-old beauty. Look at that beauty queen at 60. At 60. Look at that. Let's look at that. Look at. Come on, would you? There you go. Get that beauty in there. Look at that. Wow. Non-wrinkled 60-year-old gorgeous gal, Jessie Jones, the one and only, who evidently only wants to show one eye and her grunge hat. We'll get in the picture. Okay, we're going to play camera tag tonight. 30 minutes in, and we're Trainwreck, folks. I've done my singing. I don't know what more I can do. She won't get on the camera. She won't show that beautiful 46, 60, I don't know, whatever. Is there something? Can you refresh that or something to see? Am I missing something? Or just nobody there with us? Maybe not. I guess that's all I got. So, I guess that's all I got. Yeah. Okay, so let's go now. Well, let's go into the records. And again, I only went up to for those about to rock. I really didn't. I kind of lost them after that. It is what it is. I know some people will say that's heresy, but
who was your favorite singer?
Bon Scott by far. Bon Scott was AC/DC. I'm sorry. Brian Johnson's a great singer from the great band Geordie. And Bon had mentioned him before his death that he loved his singing, and he obviously brought a lot to the band. But Bon Scott, if you ask me and you say, what about AC/DC? I say two words, Bon Scott.
I know, but if it wasn't for Brian Johnson, he kept them alive.
Well, yeah, because Bon died, but had Bon lived, they probably still would have got just as huge because the guy was the greatest front man.
He kept the band alive, so he deserves credit for that.
Well, I didn't say he didn't deserve credit. You just said who's my favorite singer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So let's go through those records, and again, in typical fashion of how different the music industry was then, they were churning them out. 76, they put out 2 records that had been in the can for a while anyways, but they weren't released into America until 76. High Voltage and Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap. Both were released in 1976, 1976. Dirty Deeds and the Done Dirt Cheap. Dirty Deeds and the Done Dirt Cheap. Oi! Oi! Dun, 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 dun.
And who sang that one?
Bon Scott.
Oh, wow.
Yes. 77, they churned one right, coming right back with Let There Be Rock.
How'd that song go? I don't remember.
I don't know if I can sing that one.
For those about to rock.
No, that's way later. We're right there. For those about to rock is right there. So 77 was Let There Be Rock. 78 was probably one of the greatest records of all. I love this record. I wore the groove out, probably 10 vinyl copies of this record, Power Age, in 78. Kicked in your Up to My Neck in You, Kicked in the Teeth Again, Sin City. That is such a strong record. I'm sorry, folks. If you haven't heard that record, I highly encourage you. Go to your local streaming services. Go to, I don't know, the great YouTube and check it out. Pull it up. Listen to that record. There is not a bad, that is in your face, kick you in the you-know-where, straightforward, 4 on the floor, blues, rock, with the greatest lyrics. I'm telling you, that's a great record. I'm sorry, but that's one of my favorites. 79 came Highway to Hell, and you all know Shot Down in Flames, Highway to Hell.
How did Highway to Hell go?
I'm on a highway to hell, down a highway to hell, and I'm going down. And that sadly died. How crazy is that? It's not coming from a Christian background. That was not very well received in my family's house when I brought home the concert T-shirt.
What happened?
That faithful. My mom burned it or destroyed it or threw it in the garbage. I don't know what she did, but it was gone. I wish I had it now. Probably worth a lot of money, but so that was 79. Then, obviously, sadly, on February 17th, 1980, Bon Scott dies tragically. Literally 4 months, 4.5, not even 4.5 months after I saw him in that tiny gym at the University of Nevada, Reno. It's called the Old Gym. Tiny little place. And it was loud as all get up. I think my ears bled for about 4 days after that. It was so loud, but it was the greatest show ever.
Was it in a gymnasium?
Yes, it was called the Old Gym at University of Nevada, Reno, and I don't even think it's there anymore, but that was great. Then 1980, we get Back in Black. 'Cause I'm back in black. I hit the sack. I'm so glad to be back. I've been cut loose from the noose. Yeah, you know that, Back in Black. There's some great songs on that too. Shoot the thrill. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. So we all know this music. If you listen to any terrestrial radio, if you were anywhere in near around a teenager around the early 80s, you heard that and they played it and they were absolutely crushing not only the box office but the music biz in that genre at the time. They were huge and they literally exploded. They went from, again, I saw the Highway to Hell tour in like a 900-seat old gym. They went to selling out Oakland Coliseum with, 50,000. So
What's
that tells
the
you.
gymnasium?
Excuse me?
Did you have to buy tickets?
No, you just walked in and it was free. What do you think? Of course you had to buy tickets. And I think I have the ticket stubs.
How much were
I think the tickets were $8.
That's expensive.
Maybe back then, but now they're playing May 8th in Pittsburgh at the.
How much was your brand new car back then? Your truck, brand new.
My brand new Toyota truck, which I bought in '86, was I think $8,700. 4-wheel drive Toyota.
So $8 for a ticket.
Well, plus a 50-cent service charge.
That was.
Merle Illustrations Rare. Y'all got a favorite Pokemon? Pikachu. I guess. That's about the only thing I know about Pokemon. Sorry, I don't, Merle.
Mihi.
Mihi?
Mihi. Illustrations Rare. Mihi.
Oh, Mihi.
Mihi.
Oh, Mihi. Sorry.
Your 77-year-old eyes are.
Yeah, my 77-year-old eyes are fading quickly into the abyss. How about Mihi? You got a favorite AC/DC song? Throw one at me.
Do you know?
What?
What year was AC/DC? Again.
What year were they formed?
Yeah. What were they formed?
1973 in the great Sydney, Australia.
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh yeah, you were. You're 60. So, according to Johnny H., you're 60 years old. So, no, you weren't even born yet. You were 3 years from birth. You were still waiting. Mihi, you got a favorite AC/DC song? Let's hear it. Mr. M, if you're still out there, we need some help. What's one of your favorite AC/DC songs? Come on, somebody in the chat, help me out here. I'm train wrecking. We're 38 minutes in and I'm train wrecking. Late night train wrecking quick. Come on, my friends. Hook me up, man, with some chat. And
what's another song?
Okay. I put out here's some songs that I wrote. Obviously, Dirty Deeds,
well, you
Thunder.
Didn't write them.
Well, no, that I wrote down.
You didn't write them.
No, I did not write the songs. I wrote them down on my note. Okay, you know what? 39 minutes now in, and she's train wrecking. She's all full of piss and vinegar because she's ate some fried chicken and some dipping bread. And she's got a cup of tea, a cuppa, as they'd say in the UK, a cuppa, and a cuppa. It's so crazy. Anyhow, here's some songs that I came up with. I'll throw them out there at you since nobody wants to play with me in the chat. Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap.
How does that song go?
Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap.
I think it's like dirty,
dirty. No, that's
dirty,
not.
dirty.
No, that's not.
Dirty deeds. Yeah, it's not like dirty. It's like
dirty
dirty.
deeds
They
and
say
done the cheat.
Dirty.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go.
Dirty deeds.
The 60-year-old bringing it in hot, folks. Bringing it in hot.
Dirty. Dirty. Here, let's look
Dirty
it up.
Deeds and the Done Dirt Cheap. Big Balls. Ride On. Those are all from high voltage.
How does Big Balls go?
I can't say it. This is a G-rated show.
Why? What kind of balls were they? Beach balls? Were they beach balls?
Yeah, they were beach balls.
Were they what other kind of big?
They were testicles.
Basketball? Like
No,
a big basketball?
testicles.
Basketballs are big compared to like a golf ball.
Wow, you're one funny gal. Why are you staring?
I'm trying to
Golly.
Big beach balls.
Yeah, big beach balls. You got it. Boom.
Now, how did that song go?
I can't really, I don't have the melody in my head, so I can't.
You forgot.
Ride On is a great one too. That's a great, like, kind of slow blues rock song. From Dirty Deeds, we've got A Whole Lot of Rose.
Dirty Deeds.
A whole lot of rose.
How does that go?
A whole lot of woman. There's some great interviews. By the way, if you want to hear,
What's that song about?
What, A Whole Lot of Rosie?
Yeah.
It's about a girl. I was just getting there. There's some great interviews out there. In fact, they put out a box set. It was called Bonfires, and there's some interview stuff on those discs. And he tells a story about A Whole Lot of Rosie. It was a girl named Rosie in Tasmania, and she was one large woman. And let's say Bon Scott had a night of fun with old Rosie, and that's why he wrote that song. It's a great, I cannot tell it the way.
They played board games all night.
Yeah, they played board games.
That's why it was fun.
He said she got on top of him and almost crushed him to death because he wasn't a big man.
This
But
is
What?
she got on top of him because she was giving him Monopoly money.
pull up the
She was passing him one of the hotels.
pull up the words to A Whole Lot of Rosie. Go ahead, please.
They were playing board games
Okay,
all
can you
night.
please do that for me? Whole Lot of Rosie.
This is
I know. It's not, there's nothing in there. I just want to see the words to the song.
by on top of, you mean like rock, paper, scissors, my hand is on top of
Yes.
your hand.
Exactly.
Like-
Frankie,
Yeah.
there he is.
Frank!
Yes, our man is here. Let's give it
Hi,
up for the great
Frank.
one and only Frankie.
Our
East Ball, Pennsylvania's favorite song.
Suggestion contributor for tonight.
We're running late tonight too, so we are doing fine. We are feeling good. In case you missed it, Frank, because you can go back and listen to it after we post it, but the job situation has been settled. I've accepted a new job. Things are looking up. We're going to change it up here. I'm going to actually go back to real work, which the coal mine is going to get busy, baby. I'm going to have to make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the coal mine now, boy, because I'm going to a bigger mine, that's for sure. So
Cane in one hand, a bag of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the other.
exactly.
And 2
And 77-year-old Tim heading to the mine. Did you pull that up?
dirty deeds. What are you looking for?
Whole Lot of Rosie.
The lyrics?
Yes.
I may or may not allow you to speak some of them.
Okay, well, I just want to see, because I didn't listen to a lot of this music. I'm just going off the top of my head.
This is
Frank says, "Do you know what you are going to do at your job?" Yes, I do, Frank. I'm gonna be driving a truck in the coal mine. No, I'm gonna be doing some different from what I'm doing now. I don't really want to go into it too deeply here live on YouTube, Frank. It's kind of a sensitive thing, but I'm definitely going to be
top
doing
secret.
I'm definitely going to be doing different work from what I'm currently doing.
It's top secret.
It's a huge opportunity for me, and I'm so thankful
real,
for it.
It is.
It is monstrous. All right, let me see.
No, wait.
I want to tell you a story. About a woman I know.
Wait.
When it comes to loving.
Playing board games.
She steals the show.
Playing
she ain't exactly
games.
pretty. She ain't exactly small. 42, 39, 56. You could say she got it all.
Meaning 30, 39, 56 dollars and Monopoly money and hotels.
Yeah, exactly. Never had a woman like you, doing all the things you do. Ain't no fairy story, ain't no skin and bones, but you give it all you got, weighing in at 19 stone. You're a whole lot of woman, a whole lot of woman, a whole lot of rose, a whole lot of rose, you're a whole lot of woman.
No,
honey,
a whole lot of rose.
Honey, you can do it.
Wait.
Do it to me all night long.
Playing
Monopoly. Okay, we're done. I sang enough of that one. Pull up Night Prowler. That's about the great. Well, not the great. That's a horrible statement. That's about the freak named Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker in L.A.
Okay.
And it's a song called Night Prowler on Highway to Hell.
Well,
I'm sorry. Those are the lyrics of what Frank says. I hope it works out for you. Yep, I hope so too, Frank. I think it will. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go to the coal mine and I'm going to give it everything I got. These 77-year-old bones are weary. The cane is ground down on the bottom because I've been leaning on it hard. But you know what? I'm going to do the best I can. This is a huge opportunity for me. And I'm so thankful that, God's opened this door for me. And really, I tried hard to do the best I could what I was doing. But obviously the Lord was the one that opened this door for me. So now I just got to rely on him to power me through this, and going to learn a lot of new skills and do some things I've never done before. So that's exciting. And let's just hope the body holds out. It's probably going to be a rough go for a minute until I get back in the real. I'm going back to using a pickaxe instead of using a big machine to dig up that coal down there in the mine. So I'm really looking forward to it. So that'll be starting in a couple weeks. So we definitely will be going live again next Thursday. After that, again, Frank, watch the community post that Jess puts up, because we're going to probably have to shake this up a little bit. I really don't know exactly how this is going to play out, or
what's that song I was talking about?
What, Dirty Deeds?
Dirty deeds
and the
done cheap.
Dirty. Whole lot of rose from Let There Be Rock. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. That's not a great titled song, but again, that's where they were at. Bad Boy Boogie is another one that's a great song from that record.
Which one did you want me to look up?
Okay, how about Gone Shootin'? What songs did I just miss of AC/DC? All right, so here's some songs, Frank. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Big Balls, which are obviously beach balls. Ride On. Whole Lot of Rosie. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. And Bad Boy Boogie. Those are all from the records High Voltage in 76, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap in 76, and Let There Be Rock in 77. Now we go to one of my favorite AC/DC records, which is called Power Age, and some standout tracks in my opinion are Gone Shootin', Riff Raff, and Kicked in the Teeth. That's just straight up four on the floor, straight ahead blues rock and roll. Is that gone shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Feel
Sing
the
it.
pressure rise.
Sing it.
Hear, feel the
Sing
pressure
it.
rise.
Sing it.
Hear the whistle
Sing
blow.
it. Sing
Bought
it.
a ticket of her own accord to I don't know. Packed her heart in a traveling bag and never said bye bye. Something missing in the neighborhood of her crying eyes. I stirred my coffee with the same spoon. Knew her favorite tune. Where's the rest of it? What site did you get that from? Oh wait, there it is. Wrapped herself around like a second skin, back to her favorite nag.
Okay.
Here we go. Come on, you're stealing the show here. You gotta. It is what it is, Gek. It's the time of
Okay, I'll have to censor you myself then. So go ahead.
Back to her favorite nag, but it's a horse. But she could never win. I took an offer in another town. She took another pill. She was running in overdrive, a victim of over. Okay, you know what? I'm not doing that. Just stop. I'll just pull it up on my own phone and start singing it. What are you gonna do? All right, so that was Frank. That was Power Edge. Wait, let me see. Pull up "Kicked in the Teeth" again. "Kicked in the Teeth." I love that song. I heard Hell's Bells on the radio today. Awesome, Frank. Awesome.
All right, Frankie.
Hell's. All right, Johnny is back.
How's that go?
Okay, I'm back. John Hip is back in the house.
Sing it with you. Sing it with you. How does that go?
No, I
Hell's
want
Bells. Which
Kicked in the Teeth.
How does Hell's Bells go?
Kicked in the Teeth. There it is, lyrics. You just missed it. It's up there.
Okay, I'll find it.
It was up at the top. All the way to the top, right there.
That was the site you didn't like me going to.
Two-faced woman with your two-faced lies. I hope your two-faced living made you satisfied. You told me, baby, I was your only one while you've been running around town with every mother's son. 2 times told about the woman like you. 2 times told about the things you do. I used to think that you were sugar and spice. I should have listened to my ma's advice. Amen to that. Kicked in the teeth again. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Kicked in the teeth again. Again. Ain't this misery ever gonna end? And I've been kicked in the teeth again. That's a great song. Two-faced woman, such a crying shame. Double or nothing, you're all the same. You run around, hope you had your fun. You'll never know who's gonna win till the race been done. Oh, kicked in the teeth again. That's a great song, man. I wish we could play it for you folks, but evidently
It's better when you sing it.
no, it's way better when Bon Scott sings it. All right, let's go to Highway to Hell, 1979. I'm your night prowler. I sleep in the day. I'm your night prowler.
No.
That's a great. It's about the one and only, the infamous Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker in Los Angeles.
No.
All right, well, that's what it's about.
That's
Sorry.
not something to glorify.
I'm not glorifying it. It's a song. I'm not glorifying it.
You almost said great.
I know.
That's not.
I didn't say that.
Definitely
I
not
almost said that, but I censored myself.
Oh,
so
well,
what's
it's
the problem?
not something to glorify.
It's about Richard Ramirez. Oh, Frankie had Chinese food for lunch today. All right, what'd you have?
What did you have, Frank?
Whoa.
What was good on the menu today?
What'd you have, Frank? We need to know what the menu items were. Come on, Frankie. Give it up. I had some General
Oh, yummy.
Tso's.
How was it?
There you go. Was it good? Was it spicy? Make your tongue tingle? Did you eat those red chilies that are in it? And then did you have to drink like 14 bottles of water after you ate it because of all the MSG?
Did you get thirsty after you had it, Frank?
Oh, Frankie doesn't like spicy food. Uh-oh.
You didn't eat the red thing? I ate the little red chili one time, Frank, and I regretted it. That was hot. Really hot. I immediately realized that wasn't a very good idea.
Okay, pull up Shot Down in Flames. So Highway to Hell, I picked out, I mean, I'm not going to do all the popular songs that you all heard on the radio a million times, so I went a little deeper into the catalog. I picked out Night Prowler, Walk All Over You, and the great Shot Down in Flames. Here we go. Let's give you a little bit of it. Wow, 1, 2, out on the town, looking for a woman, gonna give me good love. Anybody want to hang out with me? I'm really burning up. She was standing alone over by the jukebox like she's something to sell. I said, baby, what's the going price?
Okay.
She told me to go to hell. Shot down in flames. Shot down in flames. Ain't it a shame? Shot down in flames. That's so great.
I think I know why you like that song.
Single bars got my eye on a honey, hanging out everywhere. She might be straight, she might want my money. I really don't care, no. I said, baby, you're driving me crazy, laying it out on the line.
Why do you like this song?
When a guy with a chip on his shoulder said, toss off, buddy, she's mine.
Okay.
Shot down in flames.
Okay, why do you like that song?
Because that's how it was in high school. That's my whole life story. Shot down in flames. Just ask the 60-year-old. Shot down in flames. Going down. Shut down in flames. I got my eye on the money. Oh man, that brings back so many memories. I want to say her name. Well, say it. Let's hear it through the interwebs. Jazzy, Jazzy. Jesse, 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 shot down in flame. Ain't it a shame to be shot down in flames? Oh, it's such a great. COD, Jessica.
Appio!
Hey, just got. Oh my goodness, man, Robin Trout. Appio, come on, man. You're taking the soul right out of me, man. Wow. I knew he was out on the road right now. How was it, Appio? Wow. Appio, the great Appio, just got back from catching Robin Trower. Where was it at? Where'd you see him at, Appio? Frank says, do both of you like Chinese food? Because I put a Chinese restaurant on your email today in case you like it. Maybe you can look at it later on. I sure will, Frank. Thanks. I looked at the menu. I sent you an email back on the Slices restaurant. Looks delicious. You're not being a pest, John. Don't worry about it, man. You're part of the family. It's all good. You're not being a pest. Jessica, it's a great Allman Brothers song.
So, what? Back to Appio.
I want to know.
Trowers.
I want to know what venue he saw Robin Trower at.
Or Robin Trower, who's?
He's a British guitar player from the '60s. He was in Procol Harum, and he also did a solo career with the great Bill Lord, and live at the Sunrise Theater, Fort Pierce, Florida, first show of the Florida tour. he still delivers the licks. I bet, man. Bridge
cool.
of Sigh, Two Rolling Stone, man, oh man, that guy had so many hits and such killer stoner music. John says hi, Frank. Frankie.
Aww.
John says hello. Good job. Thanks for being Appio. We missed you. We're talking about AC/DC tonight. A slight change from Robin Trower. I got that one from Slice Pizza restaurant that has been there for a long time. I bet.
Ooh.
Frank says hi, John. John, there you go. Boom. You're in. You're in like Flint. Don't forget, John, you're on the hook this week, so I hope you got we're not ready for it yet. We're only 1 hour in. We're going late night deep. Trainwrecking on the great YouTube. What am I don't even know what I got going on here. I'm so excited about AC/DC. Happy we're talking about AC/DC tonight. It's been Frankie in honor of his Super Bowl win and the Philadelphia Eagles. Frank is still in the glowing limelight of the big Super Bowl win as they crushed that goopy the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a beautiful thing. The city of brotherly love was on fire, and they're burning it down because they're so excited about their victory. They're running up the rocky steps, going dun 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 dun. Singing the Rocky song. Missed your last podcast. Was that Pure Prairie League? Amy, what you gonna do? No, is that that's Pure Prairie League, isn't it? Vince Gill. Wasn't Vince Gill in Pure Prairie League? Appio, I'm pretty sure. Amy, what you gonna do? I'm so in love with you.
That's a great song.
Man, Appio, you are the man. You are just I'm living my concert life through you. We got Appio, we got the great Warren Haynes doing the solo project. Is be at the Town Ballroom in Buffalo on the 28th of this month. We got Daryl, the great Daryl Hall from Frankie's hometown in the great Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, coming to Erie in the Warner Theater. Clint Black's playing at the Erie. I love Clint Black. I love me some country Clint Black. There's a couple other shows that are coming to this area. Michael Monroe and the great Steve Conte are playing at.
You're good because I would have never known that's who sang that.
Yeah, I can see what. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do.
I'm gonna put that one up.
Frank said, I'm making sandwiches again this Saturday for the homeless people because not many people are coming because people have stuff to do that day. So I'll be there a little longer making. Good for you, Frank. God bless you for doing that. God bless you, Frank, for doing that. I know that the people that are in need really appreciate all your hard work and all that you do. We really hope someday we can make it out there, Frank, because we would love to join you and do that for people in need. Again, we always pray and hope that all of you are safe and warm. And John says, Jesse. Where do you all live? We live in the woods somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Under a rock.
Yeah. We live in the outskirts of the bad side of town.
We live under a rock. And when it rains, we come out, slither around.
We live just on the other side of where the deer and the rabbits and the possums and the sun comes out, we go back under the rock. Oh, Appio, man, you are.
What did?
Wow.
What were some
Appio saw him on the high bowl. So I don't know. You probably missed it earlier. Appio, I saw him. On the first time I saw him was September 6, 1979 at the University of Nevada, Reno Old Gym. It was like a 900-seater. It was on the Highway to Hell tour. And I still to this day say that was one of the greatest concerts I ever saw. It was so loud. It was ridiculously loud. You know, Angus gets on the security guard and then they carry him around on his shoulder through the crowd. Bon Scott was just off the hook. I mean, and sadly, it was only less than 4.5 months later, and he was dead. But man, you know, I don't know what you think, Appio. You know, you're in our generation, not like these youngins, but I still think Bon Scott has to be in the top three frontmen ever of a rock and roll band. The guy knew how to command a stage. He was so far ahead of the thing with the tattoos. I mean, remember 1979, a guy with tattoos and whalebone in earrings in his ears and his nose. That was y'all living the real Bando Kev says, "What up, fam? What up?" The real Bando Kev. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. We're talking about AC/DC tonight.
Welcome.
What a great, but I mean, Bon Scott was so ahead of the game with, you know, now you see all the guys with all the tattoos on their face and their arms and all the sleeves and all that. But back then when when he did that and he had all that, that was unheard of. And he wore those really high waisted, like weird jeans with like two different colors denims, and he had that jean like vest that was cut off on the sleeves. Man, I Jesse is a little offended by some of his lyrics, like every other woman on the planet. But you know what? It was a time. It was the way the country was, and he had a way to put words together. A whole lot of rose, a whole lot of woman. I know. I said. I told him. What?
What's your favorite?
The real Bando Cab. What's your favorite AC/DC song? All right, John is almost up to 100 subscribers. Good for you, John.
Wow, good job.
Bring it. Subscribe to the great John Hip YouTube channel. The World According to John from Lexington, North Carolina. Yeah, his public school Britain cab. I'm telling you, man, that the guy was unbelievable. And then, of course, you know, how much more can you say about Angus and Malcolm? Again, very basic, not basic, but I mean, four on the floor, straight ahead, blues rock and roll, no big pedal board, no big fancy. He would plug in that SG into a Marshall stack and put it on 11 and go. I mean, there was not a lot of gimmicks and gadgets and, you know, like a lot of the other guitar players do. But Malcolm was Malcolm was a phenomenal rhythm guitar player and really made a lot of that music. I mean, obviously we all know about Angus and the schoolboy get up and laying on the floor and spinning around in circles playing the guitar and doing all the crazy antics. But Malcolm was in the back, never getting a lot of attention and just laying down the rhythm and keeping that. And then, of course, the great Cliff Williams and Phil Rudd just power in the back end, always in the pocket. Man, powerful stuff. Frank says it's 24 degrees outside right now. Yeah, I think it's even colder here, Frank.
It's actually warming up finally.
Whoa, really John Hip said I had snow today in the great Lexington, North Carolina area. So did we. We were driving in some snow earlier today, so
Frank has really, really good ears. You've got great ears, Frank. You can hear really well because he said that the wind chimes are quiet today.
Yep, they were making noise earlier, but
yeah, they're not nearly as windy today as they were.
All right, so a couple songs out of the last record that I pulled out from Back in Black was "What Do You Do for Money, Honey," giving the dog a bone, and let
Oh,
me
it was
put my love
raining.
into you. So,
Oh, Frank got rain.
ooh, Frank was raining. Wow, raining in the city of. Dun, 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 dun. It's the theme of Rocky when he's running up the stairs in Philadelphia, man. It's the greatest scene in the history of Hollywood. I mean, come on. Y'all know that. Dun, 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 dun. And I think the soundtrack was done by the great Bill Conti. I believe that song is by Bill Conti. Check it out. Pull up the Rocky theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Sylvester Stallone. Rocky. And the great Talia Shear. Oh, I was always in love with her. She was so smoking hot. Whoa! Talia. She had those horn rimmed glasses and she was all, and then she transforms into the beautiful. Let's Get to the Point by Tom Petty there. Yeah. Thanks, John. Are you trying to tell me something? They still have the Rocky statue. Like it. I like it.
Oh,
awesome.
Wow. That's
Looking at their Appio says, looking at their entire catalog, my current fave is TNT, a collab of Scott and the Youngs. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. What I would suggest, Appio, like I said a little earlier, you probably missed it, but
Tom Petty. Is that next week?
No, I think it's a song by Tom. It says by Tom Petty, so I'm assuming it's a song. They put out. Yeah, look up the song up, he said, by John. They put out a box set a long time ago, actually. It was called Bonfires and BON Fires. And really, I highly suggest that because there's a lot of outtakes, but there's also a bunch of interviews where Bond talks about, like, a whole lot of Rosie and some of those crazy songs that he had written and the stories behind him. And it's I don't know if you ever heard of that, Appio, or if you've ever seen it. It was like one of those 5 or 6 CD sets. And I remember buying it, and it came with all kind of swag in the packaging. But I highly suggest it. I wish I still had that. I don't even have anything to play. I don't even have. I think I got rid of most of my CDs because I don't even have anything to play a CD on right now. So I'm pretty much just gone straight to doing it on my phone. So
the only thing that's coming up is You Don't Know How It Feels.
Oh. What are you sure that's the name of the song, John? Because it's not coming up. It's coming up with You Don't Know How I Feel. I know that's a Tom Petty song, but I have a Twix and a Snicker bar. All righty, go for it, man. Getting lit up on sugar. The American way.
Yummy.
Yum, yum.
Is that next week's topic suggestion?
My current favorite. I still think Appio. My favorite AC/DC song is. My favorite AC/DC album is
we're
Power Age. I love that record. I'm expanding my vinyl this week. I picked up a sealed copy of Sly Stone's Greatest Hits. Ooh, yeah. Amen to that, man. Appio says, I am expanding my vinyl this week. I picked up a sealed copy of Sly Stone's Greatest Hits. Wow. What a treasure. Yeah, John said, that's it. You don't know how I feel. That is that's a good Tom Petty song. So, John, is that your suggestion for next week? You want to do Tom Petty? There's a lot to unpack there, too. The one and only Tom Petty with Benmont Tench and Mike Campbell and Stan Lynch and Ron Blair. Is that what you want to do? Because you're up next week. Okay.
Awesome.
There we go. So we have
good one, John.
Here we go, folks. For all the family members out there that's hanging in us late night, an hour and 14 minutes, 74 minutes into this train wreck on a Thursday night, a cold, blustery, freezing, snowy, freezing under the rock somewhere in the middle of the Rust Belt.
Free falling.
we are gonna do
good.
we are
good
gonna
ones.
do Tom Petty next week. So next Thursday night,
Yay! Good suggestion, John.
the great John Hipp from Lexington,
Yay!
I was gonna say Lexington, Kentucky, Lexington, North Carolina. We are going to do Tom Petty, and I know Appio will be in on it. If he's not stealing my thunder, going to another concert that I wish I was going to. Appio, I really appreciate you, my friend. You make my day every time I hear you've always got a show you've been going to, boy. You are my hero because I am vicariously living my concert life. Yep, and the Heartbreakers, the great Mike Campbell, who's out there with a band called the Dirty Knobs, by the way, right now. Go figure. I wonder what that means. The Dirty Knobs. I don't know. Anyhow,
it probably means somebody doesn't wash their hands when they open the doorknob.
KNOBS, the Dirty Knobs. That's the name of the band.
They probably don't wash their hands when they open doorknobs.
That's probably exactly what he was thinking.
They work in a factory or something.
But I do love Mike Campbell. But you know, the unsung hero of the band, and the guy I follow his wife actually on Instagram, which is kind of creepy, but she's his French lady, is the great Benmont Tench. He has done so much, and I know he had a lot of alcohol issues, and he's got himself sober. They've got a young daughter, and it's absolutely, I love that guy. But then again, I also love Stan Lynch, man. He was a powerhouse drummer. Now I believe it's Steve Ferroni that played with him right before he passed, and what a shame to, the great thing about Tom Petty is all his resistance against the industry and the fact that he just hated the record industry, and so there's going to be a lot to unpack in that, but wow. He did write one of my favorite songs that I listened through high school, which was "Even the Losers, They Get Lucky Sometimes." Greatest song ever written for any high schooler. I'm telling you, kids today, break that one out. Even the losers get lucky sometimes. It probably is going to be a little later than 8, John, just because of Jesse's work schedule is a little complicated right now. She's a busy gal, in demand. You don't know how many guys are breaking that door down for a 60-year-old. I'm telling you. It's a pity about Austin Villa yesterday. Yeah, that was a tough one, Appio. By the way, but what I started to say was there was nothing better than watching Kylian Mbappe just dismantle Man City in the Champions League on Wednesday and said goodbye. So yeah, that was but yeah, we're I don't know. They're starting to show some signs of fatigue, but they're still well clear in the table, but it's going to be interesting. It looks like they're going to pull a typical Liverpool, and it's going to come right down to the end. We're moving towards the end of the season, so I think there's like 11 games left or something. So, but we got Man City on Sunday, so let's hope they rebound and put a boot to them just like Real Madrid did, and the one and only, the number 9, Kylian Mbappe.
Frankie says, "Did you see all the Rocky movies? Because I saw them all." Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen, I don't know, like 8 of them or something. I don't know if I've seen them all, Frank. I know I've seen like the first 3, but I don't think I've seen them all. I'm sorry, John. Oh man, Appio's going to be in Liverpool. Are you going to go to a game? Are you going to Anfield? Dude, you're killing me. Appio is the. Take me with you. Wow. Do you got room in your suitcase? Or can you take me to the Merseyside with you? I'd love to go.
Really cool.
John says end of April, beginning of May for a week. Wow, awesome, man. That's going to be it's a beautiful area, man. Beautiful. Just vacationing, I'm assuming, or are you going to see shows, or is there a purpose of the trip, or you're just going to check out the Merseyside? I supped with a bear. What does that mean?
Your 77-year-old eyes are. Thank you.
Oh, right there.
I know.
Oh, no. Well, thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John. I love it when people don't like me. I love it when people don't like me.
Okay.
It makes me really happy.
Well, all right. With that note,
when they really don't like me.
Really know
I like it when they like Tim more. I really do.
Wow.
It's good. It works for me.
Yeah, I can't make any sense of that. If y'all can, I can't. But
wow. Happy
all right, a couple other songs off of For Those About to Rock. I saw AC/DC on.
Did you see? Frank said
we love you too,
Thank
Frank.
you, Frank.
Thanks for being.
We do love you, Frank. You make us so happy.
Oh man.
All the time.
Appio says vacation, 2 weeks in the UK, but always chasing the music. I know you are, my friend,
awesome.
and I am vicariously chasing that music with you because whenever you.
My battery died.
It didn't.
Frank, you make us so happy.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna boot you out, John. You need to calm down, brother. It's okay, man. You're part of the family. You don't.
Why would we boot you out?
Yeah, I know. Why would we boot you out, man? You brought up the great Tom Petty, and now I'm reliving my teenage days.
Yeah, it's some really good music.
Riding down the road in my 75 Buick Skylark singing, even the losers, they get lucky sometimes, even though I still didn't get lucky.
There's a lot of good songs there.
But, yeah. Mary Jane's Last Dance? Or what was that? Yeah, something like that.
That's cool.
I mean, I was back like Damn the Torpedoes. That was the record. But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great time, man. I mean, I know it's expensive to head to the UK these days, and it's a bit convoluted in all the situations revolving around the UK. So be careful traveling, Appio. We'll be keeping you in your prayers, and I know Americans overseas. Yikes! Sometimes these days it's a little bit different from when we were younger, huh, Appio? I don't think I'd be taking a lot of the trips I made back in the day in the 80s. Now, but yeah. But hey, we got Go Get 'em Donnie at the helm. So we're all for all of you young folks, when Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980, we called him Go Get 'em Ronnie. Well, in 2025, we got the Red Dragon, the dictator Don. Go Get 'em Donnie. I like the YouTube symbol. Yeah, that's cool, Frank. I don't know how you did that, Frank, but that's pretty cool. We like the YouTube symbol too.
I want to know how to do that.
I did like Jesse Train video.
Oh, did you like that?
Oh, well,
thanks, John. Yeah, that was I caught that one at just the right moment. Look at Frankie. How did you do that, Frank? How did you make the YouTube symbol?
So did he play most of the old hits, Appio, Robin Trower, or was he playing more of the newer music, or was it mostly just like a consortium of the hits of the 70s and stuff? I'm assuming, did he do some Procol Harum too? Or is he done with doing that? Like, I'm sure, like Whiter Shade of Pale or something like that. Fort Pierce, Florida. Wow, I'd love to be down there right now. I have a train down here you can ride. Cool. Yeah, I miss riding the train. When I lived in Chicago, I went on my own to London at 15, not sure what my parents were thinking, but Pan Am was an experience. I bet the great Pan Am. So here's my story, Appio. My father, rest in peace, Ron.
Appio is a traveler.
Rest in peace, so Ronald Harigian. My father.
That would be so much fun.
He worked for TWA back in the day and worked for several different. Oh wow. Did that in City Dreams. Wow, Bridge of Sight. Wow. That must have been a great show. So I've traveled quite a bit, and I remember back in the day, these kids don't realize. I remember Appio when we were kids, traveling on airplanes, and we had to wear our Sunday, with a tie and fancy clothes, and it wasn't a flip flop and shorts and tank top wearing crowd like it is now. Boy, you were flying on an airplane, that was a big deal. So yeah, it's pretty. It was different back then for sure.
Under emoji stuff. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Frank, right, thank you, Frank. I'm gonna see. Oh, wow. Right, okay, I always wondered how to do that.
Press the smiley face.
Thanks for.
And look, there it is, right there.
Oh.
Wait, you didn't. Here.
Did it work? Oh. We're trying it out, Frank.
There you go.
The first time.
Happy.
Hey, thank you.
Would we take pictures together in person? Yep, we are. We haven't gotten to the point. We were thinking about charging for pictures, John, but no. No, of course we can take pictures. Once we get the bus, once our big YouTube money starts rolling in about 19 years, when I'm 89 and still going to the coal mine. By the way, Appio, just in case you're a little, I don't think you were with us last week, but our new family member John Hipp thinks Jesse is 60 and I'm 77. So if you hear those numbers bandied about, it's because oh wow, man, that is so crazy. Bridge of Sight and In City Dreams, man. Wow, those are two great records. Yep, we will look up. John says, look up, everybody, Lexington, North Carolina. The big NC, baby. The pork producers of America.
Look, Frank,
get you some. I know.
Is that number one? Aw, neat.
Thanks, Frank. We're glad you made it tonight.
Frank's number one.
Tonight was Frank's night. Anybody else got any AC/DC stuff they want to throw in there? Because this is Frank's night. The great Frank Hinz from East Falls, Philly, PA, World Super Bowl champions of 2024 or 2025 or whatever they call it. The city of brotherly love. Do
you know where Lexington is, Tim?
Do I know where? No, I can't say as if I exactly know where Lexington, North Carolina is. But I'll guess it's somewhere in North Carolina.
South, north, west, east.
What is the nearest big city to Lexington?
Middle.
I would like to go to Lenore, North Carolina, and to the great Vivian Howard's, what's that name of that restaurant? Farmer. She has a PBS TV show, and I would really love to go to that. She was a chef with her husband in New York City, and they moved back to her hometown of Lenore, North Carolina, to live closer to her parents and open up a farmer. Oh man, I can't think of the name of that restaurant, but I'd really love to go there.
What did they farm?
AC/DC had those kick-ass 2-minute songs that rock from the first note when the needle hit the vinyl. Amen to that. That was the great Appio coming through, man. You're no doubt about it. It was straight 4x4, 4 on the floor, blues, rock. Like I said, Appio, the thing that I think is funny is now you see these guitar players with these big pedal boards and, all the gadgets. Man, you're talking about just put your cord into a Marshall stack, put it on 11, plug in the SG, crank the volume knob to 10, and go. And that's was Angus. No, maybe an overdrive pedal. That was about it. But other than that, I don't remember seeing any pedals at all that he used when I saw them play, man. It was just straight. Now, granted, that's not to say that they didn't have a roadie in the back.
What's that?
It's a bomb siren. They're dropping.
Oh.
No, it's just the volunteer fire. It means there's some kind of emergency or something. I like to call we have where we live is so rural. We have volunteer fire department. So anytime that there's an emergency, the big bomb siren goes off. So you never know. It feels like England in World War II.
John says Greensboro. Do you know where that
Greensboro, yes, I know where Greensboro. I've heard of Greensboro. John, what I'm asking you is just like tonight, Trower is still old school. Yeah, I love that, man. That is so awesome that he's still doing it, man. That is amazing. Good on him. I remember that lineup. I believe it was Bill Lord, Robin Trower, and Bill Loudon. Was that the drum? Or no, James DeWar, Bill Lord, and Robin Trower. James DeWar was the bass player and singer. Bill Lord played the drums. I think it was Bill Lord. Could be wrong. And ask me, do you know where Lenoir, North Carolina is? How far is that from you? I believe it's Lenoir.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Do you like to spell things?
Why?
Do you like spelling things?
I'm not very good at it, according to you. Oh, okay. Well,
you're good at it.
I think it's the east part of North Carolina, I believe. Frank, we love you too, man. Thanks for all of you for being part of we got 8 in the house right now. We're talking AC/DC. A whole lot of rose, a whole lot of woman. Let me tell you a story about a woman I know. When it comes to loving, a whole lot of Rosie will steal the show. Ain't exactly funny, ain't exactly small. 42, 39, 56, you could say she got it all. There you go, Appio. Boom. There you go, folks. Look at that. I'm doing my own AC/DC show right here. I feel like you want. Yeah, well, we'd love to visit you. Once that YouTube money starts rolling in, we've been checking the mailbox. We got to walk 6 miles to the mailbox, but we walk every day looking for that big YouTube check. We are waiting for it to roll in, sir. I mean, well, I don't actually walk. I take the cane. I'm 77. I mean, you know how me. I'm taking peanut butter and jelly to the coal mine. So. Appio, also, since I know you were a little late getting in and, you know, you may not want to go back and watch all this through back on the backside. I accepted a new job, so, which has been a huge blessing. Thank you, Lord, for opening that door for me. This is really a life-changing opportunity. Let's hope that he strengthens me to be able to do this at 77 years old. But things we're gonna or if you win the lottery, exactly. You're exactly right, Frank says, or if you win the lottery. Well, unfortunately, I have to start playing it, but
we win the lottery and get a tour bus. We know where our first stop is gonna be.
You can comment all you want, John. Yeah, thanks, Appio. It's huge.
It's gonna be.
It's huge on.
We're gonna go see
Frank. On what?
We're gonna see you first, Frank.
This is a really 100%. Huge opportunity. Vencudo Ramos says, "Good evening, greetings, and a big hug. Greetings and a big hug to you. Thanks for joining us."
Facundo.
So
he's been with. Remember?
Yeah.
You were with us before. Welcome back.
Yeah, Facundo. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. I hope you're safe and well, and you're warm and fed. So, anyways, what I want to say, Appio, is that
big hug. Big hug back at you. Big hug.
We will do a Thursday night. We will do Thursday night. Tom Petty is with the great John Hips recommendation for next week. We'll be doing Tom Petty next week.
Watch your head, Facundo. Watch your head. He wants to see boots.
Oh.
Yay! Boots.
That is the musical mascot, Boots.
Kitties are the best. The best.
But okay, let me just finish this. You're welcome, Facundo. So next Thursday night we're gonna do Tom Petty.
So good to see you again.
Okay, so next Thursday night we're gonna do Tom Petty, as suggested by the great John Hipp. But what I want to say, Appio, is that because of this new job, and again, I'm not exactly sure what my work schedule and how this is all going to play out. One thing I do know for a fact is it's definitely going to change. So I'm not sure if Thursday nights are going to work after next week. We're going to try to have to play it by ear. So I wanted you all to know that all you have to do is either click the bell icon, like and subscribe to make us that big YouTube money, but also check the posts or the community part. What's it called? The post?
Yep.
Okay, check the post in the channel.
Community section.
And
it used to be called that.
Why is that?
That's okay.
Check the posts on the community board, and that will keep you updated on when the next time we're going to go live. Like I said, it's definitely going to change. All right, Frank. Frank says, I always have my notifications on my cell phone. Good. So next Thursday is for sure, barring any life-threatening situations. I am 77. I do take peanut butter and jelly to the coal mine every day with a cane and my little GoPro scooter or whatever you call those little scattered scooter things. No, I'm just kidding. But
you know what they say about too much peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at 77, don't you?
No, I have no clue. What do they say?
You know.
What?
A
peanut butter and jelly a day keeps the doctor away. Is that what they say? Or do they say a whole lot of rosé? What do they say? Shot down in flames, ain't it a shame? Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap. Dun, 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 dun. I will buy you anything. Well, you save your money, John. We appreciate that. The thought really means a lot, but we will be working. We're pulling our pennies together. We've just cashed in $14.09 in pennies to put towards the tour bus fund. And then we'll be heading to North Carolina. We'll be heading to Philadelphia. We'll be heading down Appio's way. We're going to go up north to see Mr. M. And we'll be checking out all the family members.
Facundo, give Bootsy a shout out. Watch your head. Give Bootsy a shout out.
Boots, the musical mascot, the one and only Bootsy, and her daughter Sunshine / Bossy.
His cats.
And her husband, Scruff.
Yay! Oh, thanks for the heart.
Yeah, thanks for the heart. Wow, that's a first. Frank says when I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I always have a glass of milk.
Ooh, yummy. That sounds good.
To wash it down my throat because sometimes it gets stuck. Yeah,
yeah.
It's kind of like putting peanut butter on a dog's tongue or on his nose. What do you do on his nose or?
On his nose.
What is that?
I don't know. What is that? It's okay.
I don't know what you did, Gag. But yeah, so thanks, Appio. I really appreciate that. This is a huge opportunity for me. I'm so thankful today. It's been a long journey to try to hope that this would happen. It looks like a video from, because it's that Joel Hansen, that eater guy. Just reset it. I don't know what you're doing, Gag. Appio says that I'll see you next Thursday, west down Ventura Boulevard. Amen. Going through the desert on a horse with no name. It feels good to be out of the rain. In the desert, they remember your name. I don't even know why. Amy, what you wanna do? I will so in love with you for a while, maybe longer if I could. I believe the great Vince Gill, the one and only. Yeah, that's America Ventura Boulevard.
Facundo.
You're right.
Facundo.
You're right.
Facundo. Nice of you to join us again, Facundo.
That is cool. America was great. It was such a that they were so good. There were so many great. I've been listening. Thanks, Facundo, for joining us. Thanks for being part of the family. We so appreciate you taking the time to be with us. You're always welcome here. We love to just have fun, laugh. You're listening to my great review of music and singing with the great Appio, the great Frank, the great Mr. M, the great John Hip from Lexington, North Carolina. And we're so thankful you're here with us. It really means a lot. We're just having fun. I'm no expert. 11-3. Yeah. So Appio saw Pure Prairie League in '79 with Vince Gill. Yeah, the great Vince Gill, who I believe is married to Amy Grant. And now, of course, he's with the Eagles, which I don't really get that. But and the Eagles, I mean, I know they're doing a spear. They're doing a run as a spear in Vegas. But, I'm sorry, man. With no Glenn Fry, I can't get behind it. Is that a leopard chair you are sitting on? Yeah, well, no, it's actually a ratty old chair that I put a leopard little blanket on, Frank. So it can be considered a leopard chair. You want to go grab a steak? Yeah, I would love to, but I'm only doing peanut butter and jelly, man. That's all you can afford when you're working in the coal mine. In the coal mines of Pennsylvania, man. That's all we get down here is you got to fill your lunch pail up with PB&J and some warm, tepid water and some coffee. And there you go. We appreciate everybody joining us. We got 9 people in the chat right now. We love all you guys. We're thankful that you all joined us for an hour and 42. Dark Doonesbury, classic linear track and turntable. Oh, amen to that. Onkyo. That was my brand of choice. I had an Onkyo turntable back in the day. Onkyo was the brand that I used quite a bit with what do you bring for snacks? Well, Frank says, what do you bring for snacks? Interesting enough, what I bring is, thanks for joining us, Dark Doonesbury, and Onkyo was the brand of turntable that I used back in the day, as well as a receiver, though I did have some Marantz receivers too, and some other Marantz. I think I had a Marantz turntable too. What I do for snacks, Frank, is I go out and buy those. It's very creepy to have a 60-year-old lady staring at you like 6 inches from your face and trying to talk. I go out and buy like a 98-cent pack of saltine crackers. I put a little dab of peanut butter on them, make little sandwiches. I make about 4 of those, and I take them, and those are my snacks. It's very inexpensive, very economical, and that's how us coal miners roll. 77-year-old coal miners, by the way. John says, I'll buy you a steak when you come in. Okay, John says, Frank, have a question for you. So, Frank, check the chat because John has a question for you. Yes, they have cheesesteaks at Slices Pizza Restaurant. Frankie likes potato. Ooh, Utz's. It's got to be Utz's, Frank. I still haven't. Akai ape. Oh, did you? Hey, Appio, back in the day, did you used to?
Read it. So everybody knows.
Appio says, I still have an Akai AP-B110/C turntable. Guarantee that's still a banger. Are you able to still get needles for those? I'd love to get back into it, but I just don't. I'm winding down in this life at 77, Appio, so I haven't gotten back into the high. Did you have a reel to
made well?
Did you have a reel to reel back in the day? Did you ever own a reel to reel system? I can't talk. Okay, we're back. John Hip says, you there, Frank? I think he is, because he said he just liked potato chips, and I believe it would be Utz's. Frank says, yes, he's here, John. Fire away. Thanks for everybody who's joining us. We're really having a lot of fun tonight. It's been a very exciting night. Appio's just back from the Robin Trower 50th anniversary show. John says, okay, have a question. Fire away, John. Frank, incoming from Lexington, North Carolina. Doing the Jeopardy music.
We thank everyone for joining us here with the Music Meltdown family.
Yeah, we love every one of you. We're so thankful for you all being part of the family.
Good to see some
of
our old friends here in the chat. We haven't seen in a while.
Appio says, my father was an Ampex head. We had many 2 and 4 tracks in the house. Wow, that's awesome. Wow, you're a blessed man, young man. My parents weren't. What?
What's Ampex?
It's a name of a company. It was like, audiophile stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Onkyo? Is that brand name sound familiar to you? I know Marantz was big. I'll never forget. I had a Marantz receiver that I wish I still had today. Boy, that thing was a monster. In fact, my beautiful mother, Priscilla Farino, wherever you are in this great wide world of ours, and Mr. Mike Farino, we love you both.
We love you.
We're so thankful for you and all that you do for us and all the prayers and all the support. My poor mother said, Sammy Hagar and Highway to Hell and all that stuff. I wish I had all those concert t-shirts she decided to throw out. Yeah, I remember all that gear back in the day. I had these American Acoustic Lab speakers, those big, like 3 speakers with the woofers and the John says, if I was in the hospital, would you ever talk to me? Oh. Macintosh amps were out of my reach. Yeah, I bet. That was, Frank, that's so sweet of you. That was so nice of you. Frank says, yes, of course he would talk to you, John.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, Macintosh was a big name back then. That was like the big... Oh, I remember those days. It was so much different from just holding the phone in your hand now, and I mean, now I have a couple MTX, like 50-watt studio speakers, and I just plug my phone into it and then stream off of that. So that's kind of how I listen to music if I want to get loud. Big shout out to James and Diane, my neighbors, who allow me to be loud and
should we take the phone out so Frank can hear the wind chimes?
John says, I just feel lonely all the time. Well, I'm sorry you feel lonely. I still have my stacked large Advent speakers. I also have an AR turntable that was my dad's. I have restored it. Wow. Yeah, I remember Advent. I definitely remember those speakers. There's so much gear out there, man. That was out of my reach too. I came from a middle class family, so
upper middle class.
There you go, John. Frank's reaching out. So
upper middle class.
No, it's not upper middle class. Not even by stretch of imagination. But well, yeah, I understand, John. I know what it's like. I live by myself, so I get lonely sometimes too. But it's a long walk to the coal mine, so I keep myself occupied, caning my way with my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the coal mine. So the only thing I can say, John,
Your
is
paper sack.
Yep, in my paper sack, or like an empty bread bag that I just put my sandwiches in. But what I can say, John, is that try to find yourself a hobby.
Church.
Church. If there's a local church that you can get involved in, or
volunteer, like Frank.
Volunteer like Frank to help out people in need. There's so many things you can do, but don't forget that music is always there for you. That can comfort you in times of loneliness. Go to the public library, and there's plenty. Go ahead, take it over.
Best thing for loneliness to read is the Bible.
All right, well, there you go. The Queen has spoken.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. The best.
If you'd like, John, so you don't have to put it in the chat if you're not comfortable, and I don't even know if they allow that here on the Great Interwebs YouTube, but there's an email address attached to our channel in the description of our channel. If you email me your email, I can email it to Frank because I have Frank's email. So, all right, well, that's
totally understandable.
Totally understandable. So if you don't, it's kind of hard to have to be able to communicate with him if you don't have some. But if you do, you can email me your email address, and I promise I'll forward it along to Frank. So we're sorry that you feel lonely. We understand, but like Jesse said, the Bible, charitable work, helping others,
community work, community project, volunteer. There's always a lot of volunteer organizations in the community, usually where you're at, looking for help, planting flowers or whatever.
So,
collecting, sometimes people do go along the road and pick up garbage and stuff for community work. Or maybe they sell stuff for charity.
Yeah, we understand, John. You don't have to apologize. I understand that, so don't worry about it. But you'll always be here with us. You can always leave comments, and like I said, if you feel
you shouldn't put it on out in the public anyway.
Well,
like on here.
I didn't say that.
Should we take the phone out?
If you want, go ahead. Dark Doonesbury says, Blazo apenas pixie fora Duraga and Sao Paulo. So must be Brazil. Brazil,
wow.
The home of football. Vinicius Jr.
Cool, welcome all the way from Pele. Brazil.
Robert Firmino.
Cool.
So many great soccer players.
Good to see you again.
Allison, Jesse's favorite football player, Allison from Liverpool's goaltender.
One of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand, John. John says, my mom and dad work, so I am home alone. Yeah. Just hang in there. Remember, the Bible's there for you. God's always there for you. He'll always be there for you. So, and like I said, just, try if it's something you're into, drawing, writing, coloring. Appio says, an acquaintance at college gave all his money to a dude who was going to Panama to bring back flour, but he really just disappeared. I got the advents for pennies on the dollar at his distress sale. Yep, those were the days. Actually, here's a good one for you, Appio. I was living in Vegas. I don't know, this had to have been in the, I don't know, probably somewhere around 82, 83. And I was at the 7-Eleven of all places getting Slurpees. And this guy pulls up in this white van. And he was kind of conspicuous, but, excuse me. But he said, hey, come here. He said, hey, you want to buy some speakers? And I'm like, speakers in a white van at 7-Eleven? I'm like, sure, what do you got? He opens up the back of this van and he had all these American Acoustic Laboratory speakers, boxed, brand new in a box. I'm sure hotter than all hot. But yours truly bought a pair, and I used those things for years. Those were one of the greatest set of speakers. Bought out of the back of a van in a parking lot at 7-Eleven in the great Las Vegas, Nevada. So there you go, folks. That's how we used to roll back in the 80s, in the heyday of America. When Go Get 'em Ronnie was at it. Now, folks, you got the Red Dragon, and it's Go Get 'em Donnie. And his little lackey boy Elon Musk carrying the torch. But back then, it was Go Get 'em Ronnie. The great Ronald Reagan. Rest in peace, Ronnie. You and Bonzo, you did us favors. You did us all great.
Okay.
John said, y'all are here for me if something happens to me. Yep, we are. You're part of the family now, John. And don't forget, everybody, we're going to be doing the great Tom Petty next week. Whoa, there's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There's going to be a lot to unravel on that one. Thanks to Frankie tonight for doing AC/DC and getting us to remember that there's a whole lot of roses. Ronald Reagan. Appio says Ronald Reagan. I love it. You got it. The great Star Wars project. What a great success that was, in the billions of dollars that went down the Frank, did I just hear that you sure did? All right, you want to take the camera?
All right.
Okay, Jesse's going to take the camera outside to give a little outtake. See if the outside light will break. That first switch. All right, she's on the fly here. Here now. And there you go. And now it's about 9 degrees in here. She had the door wide open in the great white north. I know, Appio, that you just making me laugh. I was thinking about buying those speakers out of that van.
Oh, this is lagging. Whoa. Okay.
Frank says, how do I do that, John? Because I don't do live streaming. So, yeah, I don't know if Frank has a YouTube channel, John.
Yeah, Frank obviously has a YouTube channel. Because he's here. You can sub to him. We should sub to him.
I don't know.
Everybody that's here has a YouTube channel.
So we thank everybody who joined us tonight, all the family members, Facundo, Appio, Mr. M, the great Frank Hinz from East Falls, Philly, Pennsylvania, with the AC/DC suggestion tonight. The great John Hipp from Lexington, North Carolina, home of the pork producers of America.
Dark Doonesbury.
Who else did we have in here tonight?
From Brazil, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We had some people.
Frank Appio, Mr. M, John. Dark Dunes.
Oh, something just happened.
What?
It just went your live.
We're in and out. And thank everybody for being.
Thank you so much. We are 1 hour and 59 minutes and 50 seconds into this thing, so we'll begin our. Doesn't Hell's Bells AC/DC? I believe they do. Yeah. What am I? John Hipp says, "What are you drinking?" I am drinking Colombian coffee from the nasty Keurig maker, which I got lazy. I used to be a coffee snob, but back in the coal mine, I went back to the.
That fits our theme tonight.
So Appio. I remember they played Oakland Coliseum on the Back in Black tour. That's after they had played that 900-seater on September 6th, 1979. Then they come back to the area and they're headlining Oakland Coliseum with probably 50,000. I'll tell you, they really, and Back in Black is a strong record. And, and it's interesting, by the way, some of the guys that they auditioned before Brian Johnson, who was surprised to get the nod to replace Bon Scott, was, let's see here. I wrote it down here somewhere. Noddy Holder from Slade, Buzz Shearman from Moxie, and one other guy who had voice problems, but they were all auditioned before settling on Brian Johnson, who had come from a band called Geordie, who, if you haven't heard that record, I suggest you go out and listen to it. The interesting thing was that Bon Scott had mentioned Brian Johnson before his death and how he loved his singing. So how interesting it was that he ended up getting the nod to replace him, and the rest is history. So, and he is back touring with them now. He will be on this tour. They're playing in the great Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on May 8th of this year. So it won't be Axl Rose. It's Brian Johnson is back with them, even though, he had said he was going to not tour anymore. Excuse me. John says, I had steak and eggs and sausage and biscuits and gravy the other day, and I'm getting fat. Yeah, well, that'll do it for you. Keep eating like that. That will. Excuse me. All right, so we're 2 minutes and 2 hours, 2 minutes, 2 hours and 3 minutes in. We will begin to wrap this thing up. We thank everybody who joined us, everybody who's part of this. Bacon. There you go. Bacon, eggs, sausage, biscuits, and gravy.
Thank you, everybody. Good to see everybody again.
Thank you so much, Appio.
Thanks for all the love, all the likes. And
we're glad you had a good time at the Robin Trower. Mr. M, thanks for chiming in. John, thank you for the great suggestion. Yep, we're going to see you next week. You stay safe, Appio. Have a great time. Again, send some of that Florida weather up to us.
You last week.
We thank you for all that you give. John, we thank you for the great suggestion. Remember, next week, Thursday night Trainwreck, probably late Thursday night Trainwreck, with the great Tom Petty and the Heartbreaker. Thanks to Frank.
Thanks to everybody for joining with the polls and the questions and playing along with us. It's always fun.
Thanks to Frank for the great suggestion on AC/DC tonight. Thanks for all the new faces that we saw Facundo, Dark Doonesbury, everybody who joined us.
Thank you, John, for next week's suggestion.
John asks, can I talk to Jess next Thursday? I'm sure you can.
I should be here. I should be.
You never know, though. She might get, there's a lot of 65-year-olds trying to hit on her, so she might scrounge up a date and be off with the wind, and then you'll just be stuck with me, John. So I know it's a consolation prize, but you never know what can happen. Yes, you rest as well. Good. Stay safe, Facundo. God bless you. Thanks for being part of the family. Please join us again.
So good to see you again.
Remember, next week we're going to talk about Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers from the great John Hipp, who recommended it, from Lexington, North Carolina. We love you all. We all want you to be safe. Remember, music, let's keep it alive. It's always there for you, for comfort, for soothing, for energy, for rowdiness, and all that. Our goal here is to keep music alive. I am your host, Timothy Lee. This is Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown. We got the wonderful, the beautiful, the 60-year-old, super-powered, wearing a grunge hat, mediocre-looking Jesse Jones joining us. We love you all. Thank you for being part of our family. And remember, bless you. God is good every day. God is good. Stay warm.
Next week.
Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Week. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
And remember, let's go out with a bang. 1, 2, 3. And remember,
good evening, good morning, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Keep it loud. Why? Why, you may ask, keep it loud? Because I'm back in black. I hit the sack. I'm on a highway to oh, I'm not allowed to say that.
Wait, turn them off. The button's jammed.
Keep it loud.
Off.
All right, I'm off to the coal mines. I got to go make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Love everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.
Power down.
Bless you all. Be safe. Stay warm.
Down.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Down. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
We love you all.
Love you all.